Hello, welcome to another episode of Total Ramblings. Something slightly different today. This is something I picked up from Sainsbury's, and at the time of recording, which is the end of November 2024, this is still available. This is from the makers of Doctor Who magazine, Daleks, the Ultimate Guide. I'll be honest with you, I've taken off the little kind of seal that was here that kept it closed, but I have not looked at it yet. I thought we'd have a look at it together. So here we go. Since making their television debut in 1963, the Doctor's most tenacious adversaries have broadened their conquest to film, stage and a wide variety of other media. The Daleks' unique notoriety has transformed them into cultural icons with a profile rivaling that of Doctor Who itself. This lavishly illustrated 224-page bookazine explores the Daleks' behind-the-scenes history and their fictional universe in unprecedented detail. Well, we'll see, shall we? Here's a Dalek from one of the comic strips. I'm pretty certain that's from Dogs of War. Was it Dogs of War? That's a stained glass Dalek from, I think, one of the Big Finish audios. That's the Supreme Dalek from Day of the Daleks. That looks a bit like Rusty the Dalek from New Doctor Who, and that is a talking Dalek. But look at this, £19.99. We live in amazing times, ladies and gentlemen, where a magazine costs 20 quid. A magazine, although they call it a bookazine. Okay, it's in this little slipcase. I'm going to peel that off. Okay, put that on the floor. Hope the cats don't sit on it. There's the front cover, and we have all these bubbles here. So we've got Dalek from the Daleks / Dead Planet. We've got Mavic Chen, Guardian of the Solar System. We've got Clara. We've got Davros, the Supreme Dalek, Emperor Dalek, one of the Dalek books. I'm not quite sure what story that Dalek's from, but it's an early one. That looks like Genesis of the Daleks. There's Neri Nahon. There's another Emperor Dalek, and that is from Planet of the Daleks. And on the back here, that's a cover art from Genesis of the Daleks album. That's Tom Baker meeting the Daleks in the BBC parking lot for the first time. That's from the Daleks comic strip. That's a badge. That's Terry Malloy's Davros. That's from the cover of the Dalek Outer Space book, or one of those, I think. We've got, I think that's from a cover of a Big Finish audio. That's David Tennant there. Another Emperor Dalek, I think. Not quite sure what that is, if I'm honest with you. There's Missy with a Dalek. Julian Bleach Davros. And I think that might be a Dalek mutant. Anyway, let's have a look, shall we? I honestly have not looked at this yet. So the contents for me are as surprising as they will be for you, unless you've already got a copy, of course, or seen someone else's review of this. There we go. Nice colour picture of Tom Baker in the BBC parking lot, as I said. Daleks, the Ultimate Guide. Yeah, nice image there. I think this was an image from from that big World Distributors sort of semi-annual type thing. I'm not going to go through every single page here, but basically we've got an article here called Masters of the Universe. There we go. And then basically it looks like we've got we've got like a kind of a précis of each story. I think, yeah, so Dalek Invasion of Earth. Then the film version. And then what we've got is the golden era of the Daleks with the sort of 60s comic strip, that kind of thing. It's nicely put together. Some images I haven't seen before. So, I mean, this looks like an AI, not an AI, like a CGI image, if I'm honest with you. Because that Dalek looks far too clean compared to the ones that we saw in Destiny of the Daleks. Yeah, I think these are all CGI images here. So that's quite nice. We see proper images of each of the Daleks from the different stories. So there's the gold Dalek. So yeah, we've got art. So basically we've got data files on each of the stories. So this is Power of the Daleks, the first Patrick Troughton story. Then we've got other articles. This one's called Public Enemies. And here above right, A movie Dalek photobombs Cynthia and John Lennon at the Cannes Film Festival in May 1965. Yeah, these Daleks, I seem to recall, got shipped on the back of a truck down to Cannes in southern France and got absolutely battered as a result. There's John Pertwee. John Pertwee famously didn't really like the Daleks. I think he thought they were boring. Then we're getting into sort of the modern era of Daleks with the sort of Time War kind of design. Techsterminate. So this is talking about different novelizations of the stories and other, non-televised stories. So yeah, there are a lot. I thought, I'll be honest with you, I was kind of expecting to see the usual sort of regurgitation of images and text from previous publications, but actually I'm quite pleasantly surprised with this. It's kind of put together in the way I thought, but it's showing me lots of images that I haven't necessarily seen before, and that's quite good. So here we are talking about character options. So basically this is some of the figures that they've released over the years. I have all of these. I have a complete Dalek collection from Character. So yeah, there's nothing here I'm seeing that I don't have. And now we're getting into the Teletubby Dalek era. So yeah, not my favourite Dalek. I actually started a website, the Campaign for Real Daleks, which was loosely based on CAMRA, the Campaign for Real Ale. And it was a result of that my friend Siobhan contacted me, and I ended up doing podcasting, and I ended up opening a lot of other doors into other things. And it was just a random thing because I was particularly annoyed about the design of the Dalek, and they didn't last long. Okay, so these are Daleks from the Doctor Who figurine collection. I only have one of these, and it's this one, this destroyed Dalek here. I didn't collect the figurines. I'll be honest, I didn't really have the spare cash for them. There's loads and loads and loads of them. I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but I didn't have the money, and I wasn't collecting them. I have this one as a toy. And then we've got the Dalek Factor, and then we should have, Revolution of the Daleks. Now, in the story, these were not real Daleks, right? These were kind of like security robots based off of made by humans on Earth, based from this cobbled together design, which in turn was basically a Dalek mutant building its own casing because it was stranded on Earth and trying to, build its own Dalek casing, and it got blown up, and then the humans kind of copied it. But although it's not a real Dalek, I would still buy a model of this, and they've never made any, as far as I know, which is a shame. Toon Landing. Oh yeah, the 5-part Daleks animation. Let's gloss over that one, shall we? I mean, it was okay. It was okay. They were working in lockdown. I can't really be too critical. It's better than anything I could have done, put it that way. But it was odd. It was an odd sort of thing. It was very much like one of the 60s Dalek strips kind of brought to life in animation, really. And here we have a Dalekography of all the different sort of major events in Dalek, in the fictional, not in the fictional, in our world, when the stories were broadcast, when certain pieces of merchandise came out. There we go. Doctor Who and the Daleks Omnibus. That, I'm pretty certain, is where, I got to find it again now, is where this image appeared, I think. I'm pretty certain that's where that appeared. That's what I was trying to say earlier. I once tried doing a fictional Dalek history, like as in, the real Doctor Who world. But the thing is, Daleks can time travel, right? And so it's entirely possible that there is no fixed timeline for the Daleks, that they go back and mess with it themselves. We've also got Big Finish audios and stuff in there. So yeah, this is quite good. I have to say though, £20 for a magazine. We are in the age where it is £20 for a magazine. Someone, assuming we survive World War III, which is imminent, someone in the future is going to look at this and go, £20? Only £20? God, I'd love to go back in time and pay £20 for a magazine. I'm paying £57 for a magazine, and that's half the size. Yes, but I'm talking now in 2024. £20 for a magazine. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying £20 for a magazine. If this was a hardback book, okay, but it's a magazine, right? Okay, I got this in Sainsbury's. I've had it a few days now. I got it. It's been out a couple of weeks. If you go looking for it, you can probably still find it in, I would imagine, reputable newsagents and probably some disreputable ones as well. Do you know the WH Smith's in my town is closing? What sort of world do we live in where a town cannot sustain a WH Smith's? What a world. I'm getting old. I'm telling you that now. Look, thank you very much for watching this totally burbling, rambling episode of Total Ramblings. I mean, that's what Total Ramblings is about, right? Please feel free to like, share, subscribe, all the usual YouTube stuff, hit the bell icon, all that kind of stuff. And thank you very much for tuning in, and I will see you in the next episode of Total Ramblings. Bye bye.